that like you really know your neighbors here in the Philippines, and like it feels like everyone has like an open door policy, like neighbors can come and go. If they just come for lunch, it's like of course they're gonna come like, eat lunch with you anytime. So you always have to have like extra food. During the pandemic, all of them were closed, and so I contacted the owner at Bohol Bee Farm to be like, can I buy directly from you? I always have one in my pocket. Oh, I carry it with me always. I've used this chapstick for like 9 years.
はい、今日はですね、新たな企画を始めていきたいと思います。その名もですね、Why do you live in Cebu という企画でやっていくんですけども、今回第1弾として、アメリカの出身の方をお招きして、お話しさせていただく形になるんですが、
楽しみですね。
僕らのこの YouTube チャンネルで言うと、基本的に僕らの意見がメインになっていて、こういうところが、日本と違って面白いよねとか、こういうとこ気をつけなきゃいけないよとかっていうのは、基本的にもう日本人の目線で、お話しさせていただいてるんですけども、じゃあ、他の国から見た時のフィリピンってどこが面白いのかとか、どういうところに気をつけてるのかっていうところを今回フォーカスできればなという思いでこの企画を始めていきたいと思ってます。で、今回インタビューするのはアメリカ人の方なんですけども、僕の友人でもですね、アメリカに行きたくて、留学しましたと。でも、帰ってこなきゃいけないってことで日本に帰ってきたっていうような、アメリカに憧れを抱いてる方って結構いらっしゃるのかなと思うんですが、そこを、ある意味離れて、なぜセブを選んだのかみたいなところも、僕としては面白いのかなというふうに思いますので、ぜひ、一緒にそこをシェアできればなと思っております。では、第1弾スタートです。はい、ということで、he is Larry, Mr. Larry.
Yeah, welcome.
From US, right?
Yes.
Yeah, from US. And then so he's one of the friend in Cebu. And then he is very kind, and then he invite us, Yasuko-san and me, and then my neighbor. Yeah, same condominium, and he stay in the upstairs. Nice to have you here.
Yeah. It's great to be here.
Yes. Could you please introduce yourself by yourself?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Larry. I'm from the United States, but my parents are from Italy. So I'm Italian American, and I've been living in the Philippines for over 5 years now. And background about me: I have a Bachelor's of Science in Architecture from University of Virginia, and then a Master's of Business Administration from Colorado State University.
Wow.
Yeah, and currently I am working for a Canadian SaaS company, software as a service, doing implementation work for them. In my free time, I like to run, swim, and bike around.
He's my gym mate.
Yes, we met in the gym. I was excited to.
Yeah, when I see you, when I talk to
First time.
her, first time in the gym. Elevator. Yeah.
Elevator?
Do you remember?
Well, I think technically it was like elevator first, but it was just like hello. Hi. Where are you from? And then I didn't see you for a while, and then started seeing you in the gym, and that's when we really got to talk and invite.
Yes. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you for your cooperation.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you. And then so today, I will ask to you around maybe 10 questions about Cebu and you. Yeah. So can I start?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And the first question is, when did you come Philippines first time and why?
Yeah. Sure. So first time I came to the Philippines was in 2012, actually, with the U.S. Peace Corps. You know, U.S. Peace Corps.
Peace Corps. Actually, I heard that name, but I don't know about the detail about this one.
Yeah, I'll explain a bit. So it's a program of the U.S. government. It was actually started by John F. Kennedy in the 60s. So I think we just celebrated like 60 years of Peace Corps. So it's a program where U.S. citizens can go volunteer abroad for 2 years and help with that country's development goals. So I came as a Peace Corps volunteer and then volunteered at an orphanage for boys. here in Dumaguete in
Uh-huh.
the Philippines. So I was there for 2 years working with the boys to help them with their self-esteem, help do tutoring, life skills, mentoring. Yeah.
I
So
see.
that was like the first time. So I was assigned here to the Philippines.
Where did you start your life in Philippines? So,
Yeah, so first you start out, because we were a group of like 80, I think, 80 people. We started out in Subic.
Subic.
So it's like north of Manila, Subic Bay. And we were there for 2 months, 2-3 months.
just to,
And that's where we had our training. So we had like Tagalog lessons, 4 hours a day, every day.
I see, I see.
We lived with a Filipino host family.
Ah.
So we each had our own host family, which was great to practice language. And then we did a lot of activities. So we organized like youth camps and things with the elementary school, high school. So we were there for a few months. Then I was assigned to Dumaguete. So then you have your actual assignment for the 2 years. So you have 3 months training and then 2 years service.
2 years. Not
Yeah, so
not
27
1
months.
year, 8 months like that. So totally 2 years, right?
Yeah, so total 27 months. Because we have
I
the training, 3 months plus
totally
2 years.
27.
Yeah.
I see, I see.
And then I came to Dumaguete and lived at the outskirts. It's a really nice organization, Kasamiani, and they actually have 5 orphanages around the Philippines, and Dumaguete is one. There's actually one in Cebu, in Minglanilla.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's the what's the accidental or like assigned Cebu or Philippines. So, we don't. When you join the what's the name, the
Peace Corps.
Peace Corps, you don't know the where you will go.
So this was a long time ago, and before you didn't know where you were gonna go, but then they changed it like maybe 5 years ago, where you can choose. You can put like 3 of your top
see.
choices.
Really?
So you choose.
I didn't choose. My sister did the Peace Corps, and she chose
Hey.
Guatemala. Well, okay, so I kind of chose.
Uh-huh.
Okay, first, it's a bit of a story. So
Okay.
first, I applied, and I said, I'll go anywhere in the world, wherever you need me.
I see.
And I was assigned to Mali in West Africa.
Oh.
And so it was like March 2012. I was supposed to leave May 2012.
Yes.
And then there was like a coup, and the government was overthrown. So they evacuated all the Peace Corps volunteers and told me that I will be reassigned because I can't allow any Peace Corps to go there because the government was unstable.
Yes.
So then, since I was being reassigned, then they asked me, okay, you're special because you are being reassigned. Do you have a preference of a country you'd like to go to? So I said, well, maybe somewhere in like Southeast Asia or the Philippines, because I had a friend who did Peace Corps here in Romblon. And she had like great stories. It was just like amazing. So I had heard about that, and I didn't really know much about the Philippines except for like her going there.
I see, I see.
And so then they said, okay, we'll consider that. And then they came up with this. They gave me 3 choices actually. That I could do this youth work in the Philippines, or I could teach English in Cambodia,
I see.
or teach English in Madagascar.
Madagascar. Wow.
Yeah, so I was tempted by Madagascar. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
I see,
But I really liked the program here in the Philippines. It was like unique about youth instead of working in a school.
I see, I see.
So I chose the Philippines because of that program and my friends' stories. So I did get to choose from those choices, but I didn't know much about it until I really
So
got here.
when you arrived in Cebu, Philippines
Yeah.
and Manila and 2 or 3 months teaching training.
Yeah.
After that, can you choose the other place, Dumaguete or some place, or only no choice the Dumaguete?
Yeah, so at that time they're
After-
like evaluating you, seeing like your personality, your work style, and then they have like a lot of different organizations they work with, and they also work with the government like DSWD. And so then they will match you. So they'll look at like the organization and the volunteer and try to match people who will work well together. So then they assign me to Dumaguete.
What? Yeah. And then so first you stay in Dumaguete 2 years, right?
Yes.
And then so 2 years later, so do you want to continue to stay Philippines, and then and how to transfer in Cebu. Yeah, when did you come here and why?
Yeah, that's a great question. So after Peace Corps, I wanted to travel for a while first. So actually I went to Indonesia for a few weeks, and then I went to Japan for 3 weeks, and then I went to Nepal for 3 weeks. And then I went home to the US for the holidays. And I wasn't planning to come back to the Philippines. But then I was like itching to come back. I was like missing my friends here, missing like the life here. And I wanted to do graduate school, and I thought like there's Silliman University in Dumaguete. So I applied and I came back to the Philippines to try. So then I stayed 2 years, but I only did a little bit of graduate school. The education system wasn't for me. It's very different than like the US education system, so it's hard to adapt. So I just did like 1 semester, and then I started working online. But I still wanted to go back to school, and so I applied to Colorado to do my graduate.
What's the most different?
Yeah, I want to know about that.
In the education system? It was very frustrating for me. The biggest difference seemed to be like at home or in the US, like they really encourage you to like ask questions, or like there's a lot of like discussion, and the professor wants you to ask questions, especially if you don't understand something, because there are definitely going to be other people who don't understand. But here, nobody will ask any questions. Everyone is like too shy.
Really?
I'm the only one, and I know because like in the beginning I didn't, because nobody else was, and then I asked somebody like, okay, did you understand like what we're supposed to do? And they're like, no. I was like, okay, well, none of us know what we're doing. So then I started asking questions, and it's like I'm the only one, and then it's like always me. Like, oh, okay, can you really? What do you want for this assignment? It's not very clear.
But Japanese also shy.
Shy
I think, yeah,
too.
compared to US.
Yeah, but I think the Filipino is can ask about the public space. They can no shy. Yeah, I think.
I don't know. I was surprised, and everyone was like very young too, because like college age is like a lot younger here before the K through 12. So everyone felt like just like children there. I was like kuya. Really, like, I was much older than everyone. That was a big thing. The other thing was about. The other biggest thing was just about like critical thinking. Because it's like a lot of times they just want you to memorize, like, okay, I took an accounting class, and they wanted you to memorize these 10 accounting principles, and then on the test you had to write them. And so I like summarize it and use my own words because I understand each concept, and then I would get marked off because I didn't write the exact principle in like what people memorize. But for me, I got like penalized for like rephrasing it in my own words. So that was really frustrating. And so people will just like memorize and not like really understand. Or like you'll be penalized for thinking more about it.
I heard the university in Philippines, so sometimes using the Bisaya about the English. So that's why sometimes I cannot understand about the teacher's message. Yeah.
At the beginning, every time I started a new class, the professor would be like, is there anyone here who doesn't understand Bisaya? And even though I know some, I would definitely raise my hand so that they would speak English, because I don't want them to just like go on lecturing in Bisaya. But then, yeah, that was interesting.
Very good. Yes. Okay.
Oh wait, so I didn't really finish the question about how I got to Cebu.
Sorry.
So so I worked here for 2 years, but then I ended up going back to graduate school, did long distance with my girlfriend, and after graduate school we wanted to live together, and so we moved to Cebu. So she moved from Dumaguete to Cebu, I moved from Colorado, US to Cebu, so that we could live together and that she could find, she's a chef, so she could like easily find work at like a high-end restaurant or hotel, resort, because there's a lot of opportunity.
So biggest reason is girlfriend.
So the real motivation was because I came back for my girlfriend, and we came to Cebu for her to work as a chef. So. Because I was going to work online no matter what, so it didn't really matter where.
Okay. And then so he said he had a Filipino girlfriend, and I want to know about the most different point in US and in Philippines, and so especially I think if I live in girlfriend Filipino, so I feel maybe I feel the many different point in Japan and Philippines. So I want to ask the US and the Philippines what different point is. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, sure. So one big thing I would say is like about like neighbors in your community. It's like less so in the condo, but like more like outside, like in villages and stuff. That like you have, like you really know your neighbors here in the Philippines, and like it feels like everyone has like an open door policy. Like neighbors can come and go. If they just come for lunch, it's like of course they're gonna come like, eat lunch with you anytime. So you always have to have like extra food.
Even though the neighbors, so they can come easily.
Yeah, they can come, or their kids will just come. Like Sophia, like at home, like one of her neighbors, like little kids, like 3 years old, she will come and she will go and she will open the fridge. She's like, oh, is there something here? Or she will go and like watch TV.
Yeah.
So it's just like open door policy.
Yeah, I heard first time the open door
Policy. Yes.
Popular word in Philippines. Dumaguete.
I think that's like
You decided
that's
that?
a U.S. term, but that's just how I see it.
I see.
Yeah, because we talked about like in the future, if my girlfriend and I have like a house, she wants to have it run like that, like where the door is always open. If neighbors want to come, or we have extra food, we will share it. We will like send it to the neighbor too.
In
like
US
that.
also that one?
No, no, not at all.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I think there are some areas, maybe in some neighborhoods, that are more friendly and more interconnected.
And then?
Also, like another big one is just kind of like responsibility to your family and to your parents, and especially like financial responsibility.
Yeah. Especially financially.
Yeah, especially financially. Like they don't need to have their kids give them money every month. But here, like, really need to give money to your parents so that they can eat. And they can, so that was like a big thing, just kind of about, and that like, when you have especially for like overseas Filipino workers, their salary, it's like almost the whole salary will go to like the family.
That point is about every time surprised us.
Yeah. So
how about? But I feel I think the US people also take care of the family, but not different. So it's a different point
way. And but yeah, usually like people will just like have their retirement savings, and then a big portion of that will be so that they can like at the end live in like assisted living or nursing home.
To have more bigger heart, and we need to adjust for like expand family.
Yeah, you have to expand your heart for the whole
dating
family.
Filipino.
If you date a Filipino, you're dating the whole family.
I think neighbor also family,
and the neighbors too. Yeah. So.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Oh, something else. Just like I feel like Filipinos are very generous. Not to say like Americans aren't, but like Filipinos more. So like Christmas time came here, and my girlfriend said it'd be a good idea to like give all the guards and the housekeeping staff at the condo like a Christmas gift. And I was like, oh, like what? And like, well, really, like money is the best. So I gave like 500 to each one, which they were all so happy. But it's like not something I would ever have done. Sharing your blessings here.
It's good starting for us.
Yes. Yeah. So additional question. So just now it's condominium stay us, and then how feel your girlfriend? So for means so sad or lonely or compared to your girlfriend, the country, not the country, hometown.
Yeah, it is so lonely compared to hometown. And sometimes she says it's just boring. And for me, I like it. It's like peaceful. And there's like chickens all the time and like people coming over all the time.
Yeah.
So for me, it feels more like US and like privacy and peaceful. But for her, it's like a bit boring and like isolating. And it's good that like we become friends with you and with our neighbor next door, Grace.
Yeah,
That
Actually,
she has someone to.
We don't have the open door mind.
Yeah.
Open door
policy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have the open door policy in the condo.
Okay, and the next question. And then, did you face the unexpected accident and problem like in Philippines?
Yeah.
I want to know about that point. So.
Sure, yeah. Actually, within my first few months here, when I was doing that training for Peace Corps in Subic, it wasn't just me, but actually a bunch of us, maybe like 6 of us, got dengue fever. I think it was like from the youth camp at the school. Like, I don't know, we had a lot of mosquito bites and had dengue fever, and it was so painful. The nickname for it in English is like break bone fever, because it feels like your bones are breaking. So I knew I had like a fever, and everything was just like so sore. And I'm like, I didn't exercise. Why am I like so sore? And it was like towards the end of training. And so I told the staff, and they brought me to the hospital. I was lucky that there was like a nice hospital there where they actually had the tests where you just do the blood test, and they can tell you if you have dengue, because that's not everywhere. They don't always have that. So we did that, and they said, yes, you have dengue. I said, oh no. So I had to like pack all my things. I had to like say goodbye to my host family, which was so sad. It was like all of a sudden like leaving. And I was there for like 1 week. And my parents were so worried. I was lucky I didn't have to have a blood transfusion, because like they will check, they would like draw my blood like 2 or 3 times a day, because they're checking your platelets. If your platelets get below 60 or something, you need to have a blood transfusion or you'll die. So I was lucky, it didn't get that low. But yeah, I had to be in the hospital for 1 week. I missed like the end of my training. They had this like big like party with all the host families, and I missed that one, which was sad. But luckily I was okay, I recovered and was able to continue. But it was scary, and I was like more cautious about mosquito bites, like always putting the off for a long time. I mean, I would try to protect against mosquitoes, but you know, there's so many, and like when you live in the province too, like it's so hard to avoid. And I felt like I'll be around Filipinos, and like they're fine, they're not getting bitten, and they're all coming to me, and they love my ankles. They can't get through the hair, but the ankles, they will be like everywhere. But the Filipinos are fine. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I'm too sweet. That's what they would say.
I see.
But then I tried. Because actually then they came out with a vaccine a few years ago for dengue. So I got the first dose, and then you had to wait 6 months for the second dose. I went to get the second dose, and they said, oh, they can't give it anymore. It's being like held up in courts. They stopped because there was like some problems with the vaccine. I said, well, what's going to happen to me? They said, oh, you're fine. But so I'm partially protected to some dengue.
Okay, I see. Okay. Okay, next question. Are the people in US familiar with Cebu? Yeah.
So actually no. People like, I'll often say like, oh, I live in the Philippines, and then people will ask like, oh, where in the Philippines? And I'll say Cebu. Do you know it? They're like, oh no, I just know Manila. Like most people just know Manila, and they're not very familiar with Cebu or the other big cities.
I see. If you say Cebu, so he doesn't expected the island or something, so
No,
really?
Nothing.
yeah. And even actually like not everyone knows even like where the Philippines is.
It's hard.
Yeah, because most Americans will not visit here, or like it's so far. Like if they want to go to like a tropical place, they can go to the Caribbean, which is very near and affordable too. It's like a very long journey to get here. But actually, the only case where like people knew like things outside of Manila is if they had like a friend who went on their honeymoon here. So after getting married, like their friends went to Boracay or Palawan like for their honeymoon. They're like, oh yeah, I had friends who honeymooned.
So Boracay and what's the Palawan is more famous in US.
So Cebu is in Japan. So imagine the sea and beach.
We
Yes.
know Cebu.
Yeah, it's
But
Cebu.
we don't know Cebu is which country.
Oh, that's funny. You know the island, but you don't know.
Yeah, resort.
Country. Yeah.
Resort island is Cebu, but Cebu is Philippine. I'm not sure. Yeah, like that situation.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I see. And next, so do you have some favorite place in Philippines? Yeah, island is okay. So any place.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to choose just one. There's so many like beautiful places and like very different too. So I'll say 3.
Oh.
So first actually is like El Nido, Palawan. I just had like the most beautiful, like my favorite beach in the world there. Like super beautiful, and they have like all those small little islands in the distance. Really nice like white sand. I think it's Las Cabañas beach there in El Nido.
I haven't go there.
Ah, you haven't tried yet.
Yeah.
Really
Didn't
nice.
try. Yeah, okay.
It is more touristy, which is good because you can find things like crepes, like Nutella crepes, and nice hotels and things. But really nice beach there. Then Sagada, up north. So it's like mountain province. So very different from like the beach and the other areas of the Philippines. It's like a bit cold, like cooler. Like for Peace Corps, it's a big tradition to go there for Thanksgiving. So we celebrate American Thanksgiving in November, where it's like a little bit cooler. And we have like a big feast for the holiday. But they have really cool caves there. You can do these great hikes through the caves where you'll go into a cave, you'll go all around. There's like swimming there. You'll go like jumping, and then you come out another cave. Yeah,
So
really
long
cool.
cave.
Really big, long. Like first it gets big, and then it's like small and tight spaces, and then you have to swim
Adventure.
sometimes, and then like so it's really adventurous, and you have like your lights, and
Wow.
so it's a very like unique place. And then third is Sipalay.
Siparay.
Yeah, it's in Negros Occidental. It's about maybe 6 hours from Dumaguete. If you go like west, really beautiful sugar beach, and that's like a really good like chill spot. Like it's kind of not so known, so like not a lot of people, like a few people, like very quiet, like really nice, big long white sand beach. Like not rocky at all, like really soft. It's really comfortable to swim. Really nice sugar beach in Sipalay.
We must go.
Yeah, must go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will try.
Yeah.
Near future. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then I want to ask about especially Cebu. Where is your most favorite place? Restaurant or hotel like this?
Yeah.
Do you have some?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have a few favorites in Cebu. I love, especially like when I was in Peace Corps, I used to always eat there when I was in Cebu. Buzz Cafe. So it's
Boss
from
Cafe.
Yeah, do you know Buzz?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, from the Bohol Bee Farm. So like
Bohol?
the main one is in
That's-
Bohol, but they have cafe
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Robinson's Galleria.
You know?
Yeah.
It's really good, and it's just kind of like healthy Filipino food. So they have like the red rice, they have like a lot of cassava.
It's really
dishes.
colorful.
Yeah, really colorful. Their salads are beautiful. They always have
Yeah.
these edible flowers
Oh.
on the salads, and really good homemade ice cream. Like you can get flavors like guyabano, dragon fruit, malunggay.
Oh.
So really like very Filipino, but also like unique too. And like cool like organic products. So they have really good honey and like their my chapstick. Oh, I carry it with me always. I've used this chapstick for like 9 years from Bohol.
Can
during
you
the
see?
during the
That
pandemic,
During
all of
Wow.
them were closed, and so I contacted the owner at Bohol Bee Farm to be like, can I buy directly from you? And so I bought like
Oh.
取れてる？
取れてる。
I think I bought 10, so like $20 worth, and paid like for them to ship it on a boat from Bohol
Really?
to here, so I could have my yeah. I always have one in my pocket.
Surprise, Rory interested us.
Yeah.
Chopstick. So that's one of my top places, and then so I've known that one for years, and then since living here, there's 2 restaurants we really love, which is the ramen. I don't know if I will say it right, like Yushoken.
Nice, Yushoken, yes.
Yushoken?
Yeah.
So good, really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we right also.
Really yummy. And
そうなんだ。
And then this Korean restaurant, also near there. So these are both in Mandawi City. Korean restaurant, Chosen Galbi.
Oh,
You know it?
yeah.
Really good. So yeah, those are top 3.
Nice. Very interesting. Yushoken is good. Actually good.
Yeah. I feel like it's really tasty.
Ah.
Here, Yushoken, and especially the pork that they put there. I love to get the extra pork. It's just like it just like melts. It's so tender. So like that pork is so yummy.
How about US ramen?
I think we definitely have good ramen there too. There's so, especially in like New York, there's so much variety and so many choices. Like, I think I went for ramen like once or twice in my life, you know.
Really?
But I've been to like Yushoken already a few times.
I see.
And actually, I tried the cold ramen for the first time there.
Cold
I had
ramen,
never had that one before, and that was good.
Mm.
It's like refreshing too. It's hot. It's hot outside. It was cold.
Good. Yeah. Okay. I'd like to ask about do you have next plan, the general plan for next after Cebu or during from here? Do you have some plan?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's so difficult right now. We used to plan a bit more, even though but like with the pandemic, it's made it so hard. Like usually I go home to the States to visit my family every 6 months, but now it's been like more than a year because if I leave the Philippines now, they're not allowing foreigners back in unless you're like married, your spouse is here or you have kids here. So right now, not sure. It's like a big question mark. The plan is like hopefully I'll go back to the US for a couple of months and then hopefully come back to Cebu. Or if not, then like maybe my girlfriend will go back to Dumaguete and maybe I would go back there at some point. But it's very unsure right now.
Okay.
So let's see.
You
can follow.
I want to simply. Do you like life in Cebu or not?
I do like it, and like the condo life is very different than like my past lives in the Philippines. Like, because it's this weird space. Like it doesn't feel like the Philippines really, but it doesn't feel like US. It's like the twilight zone, somewhere in between. But it's like very comfortable, and I love like the peace and privacy. But I can like go down the street and go to the canteen and get like Filipino food. So yes, I like it. I was really excited to live in Cebu just because it's so easy to travel from here. Like we have a great international airport, cheap flights. Like we had booked trips to Singapore, we had a trip to Camiguin, but everything canceled. Just because it's like so easy to travel from here.
Okay, last question, and then so could you give us some advice to especially thinking the stay in Cebu and the transport in Cebu, that person. So if you have some advice, so please give us that point.
Sure, yeah, a few things. Like technology-wise, I'd recommend downloading like the Gcash app and Grab, just because like it seems like everyone accepts Gcash now, so that's like a great way. Like cashless payments weren't as big here before pandemic, but especially now, you can do a lot of cashless payment that way. Grab is great for getting around. It's very affordable and safe. So Grab is like Uber for Asia, essentially, and Grab actually bought Uber, right? So yeah, I'd recommend those two. I would recommend eating lots of lechon. Like Cebu is known for its lechon, so like there's lechon belly and like corners and like House of Lechon. In the malls is really good, lechon from Karkar. And then there was one more. Oh yeah, we live, or like the condo we're in is near SNR, so it's like the membership is very valuable, especially if you miss things from like they have so many imported goods. Like from the US, it kind of feels like Costco for me, and they even have like Costco brand things, like Kirkland almond butter I get there. So I would recommend that membership as well if you're going to be in Cebu for a while.
Yeah, if they know that point is so very comfortable life in Cebu.
Yeah, that's for very comfortable.
Really nice.
Yeah.
For the specific advice.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, totally finished. Yeah, thank you very much your cooperation.
Yeah,
thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye.